It's official. Joe Biden will be impeached after the Republicans take over Congress. The plans have already been made. We're going to take a look at the case for impeachment that's being prepared as we speak. And make sure you stick with me all the way to the end of this video when we'll look at the prospects for Senate conviction. Gang, you are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. It's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent and insane times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And gang, we are just going to dive right in here, all right? It's being widely reported from New York Magazine to the Washington Post and everywhere in between. GOP leaders are indeed already planning articles of impeachment against Joe Biden. According to the Washington Post, it is a done deal, along with most likely dozens of Hunter Biden investigations among several Republican committees. Now, that, I believe, is what Sleepy Joe, when he's awake, that is what he's most afraid of. Certainly his administration is scared witless. The FBI is scared. Thank God we got a copy of the hard drive, right? God bless a computer repair store owner in Wilmington who made that copy. He's no longer in business. I think you know that, right? Because of the amount of death threats he received from the paragons of the tolerant left. Biden and his inner circle are scared to death of that laptop. We have not seen everything on that laptop yet. We have not seen all the pictures that Hunter thought he deleted, and Joe, the big guy, is going to be investigated like no one else. When you have even Bill Maher coming out and saying that there were obvious and major financial improprieties going on with Hunter and his dad, Joe's cooked, right? He's done. But Hunter, as it turns out, is actually just icing on the impeachment cake. According to a report published by The Hill, there are now already 8 articles of impeachment that have been officially drafted against Biden. You heard that right. 8. 3 are for the disastrous troop withdrawal from Afghanistan. 3 are for Biden's deliberate abdicating of his law enforcement responsibilities at the southern border. And another 2 involve Hunter. So as you can see, I mean, he's the icing on this impeachment cake. As for the southern border, the utter incompetence of the Biden administration was on full display the other day when Biden's borderline illiterate press secretary was herself pressed on her rank hypocrisy when it comes to COVID vaccination requirements for people coming into the United States. Check this out. It is so cringeworthy.
So how is it 2 different things? Somebody unvaccinated comes over on a plane. You say that's not okay. Somebody walks into Texas or Arizona unvaccinated. They're allowed to stay. Why?
But that's not how it works. Like, we actually, no.
I know that that's not what you guys want to happen, but that is what is happening.
But that's not, it's not like somebody walks over and that's not how.
That's exactly what's happening. Thousands of people are walking in a day. Some of them turn themselves over. Some of them are caught. Tens of thousands a week are not. That is what is happening.
So let me just lay out what we have done under this administration. We have installed new border technology and set up joint protocols with Mexico and Guatemala to catch more human traffickers. We have already made over 3,000 arrests in the first 3 months.
Blah, 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 blah. She's got no answer. She has no answer for their blatant rank hypocrisy. And as for this notion, it's not like somebody walks over, Peter. Yeah, right. Did you notice that nervous laugh? Well, take a look at this.
All right, guys, what you're looking at right now is the U.S. side of the Rio Grande. That is a mass of several hundred illegal immigrants who have just crossed the Rio Grande. And look at this, several hundred more streaming across as we speak. We're on a boat in the Rio Grande. This is the Mexican side of the river right now. You can see it's a never-ending stream. Hundreds of people crossing the Rio Grande basically every hour. And they're heading over to the International Bridge, which you can see in the background. Look at that mass of people. This is why the situation under the bridge continues to deteriorate. This is insane. The federal government has to wake up.
Oh, you're right.
That is what Biden is going to be impeached for. That total, willful dereliction of his law enforcement responsibilities. So it's going to be that It's going to be Afghanistan, and I think the biggest bombshells are yet to come out of that Hunter Biden laptop, particularly with regard to Sleepy Joe's illicit business dealings with Hunter. The combination of these three things promise an easy impeachment in the House. So, what about the Senate? Well, things aren't as bad as we might think in terms of how inert and totally unreceptive Senate Republicans are with regard to their base. Now, of course, this is assuming that we take control of the Senate, which I believe we will. We can expect the polls to tighten big time going into September, and then look for a number of Republican candidates, particularly our Senate candidates, to start breaking away in October. That's what we saw with Glenn Youngkin in Virginia, and it's frankly what we see in every single election cycle that ends up favoring the Republicans. Republican polling is notoriously sparse in the summer and early fall months before a major midterm election, and I think this year they're going to end up doing great. So that said, what are we looking at in the Senate? Well, keep in mind, one of the replacements that's being considered for Mitch McConnell as Senate leader is Florida Senator Rick Scott. Now, that's significant because Rick Scott is on record openly questioning whether Biden is capable of discharging the duties of his office. And that is indeed time for Congress to discuss exercising the provisions of the 25th Amendment. So this was back in August of last year after Biden's disastrous Afghanistan troop withdrawal. And Scott tweeted out, quote, "After the disastrous events in Afghanistan, we must confront a serious question. Is Joe Biden capable of discharging the duties of his office, or has time come to exercise the provisions of the 25th Amendment?" And by the way, Rick Scott's not alone in that assessment. A recent McLaughlin survey found that 60% of those polled, 59% to be exact, believe Biden should take and release the results of a cognitive test. I mean, seriously. I've been looking at some Biden videos from around this time last year, in August of last year, because my last video today dealt with Baghdad falling under bumbling Biden's watch in a manner comparable to what happened this time last year with the fall of Kabul. And don't take my word for it. Do it yourself. Just compare videos of Biden speaking this time last year with him talking today. He is clearly experiencing obvious cognitive decline. It's rapidly getting worse. I mean, it's sad. Tucker Carlson has speculated that they're pumping him up with so many drugs right now just to keep his weekend with Bernie appearances. You know, I mean, sad doesn't even begin to describe it. So you got potentially the next Senate Majority Leader, hopefully. And I know Rick Scott's not perfect, but he's infinitely better than Turtle Man Mitch McConnell. So you got Scott openly questioning Biden's cognitive abilities in relation to the Afghanistan debacle. You have Senator Lindsey Graham. He has reiterated on several occasions his call for Biden to be impeached over the whole Afghanistan travesty. You got Senators Hawley and Blackburn. They're on record demanding that Biden resign from office or face impeachment because of that botched withdrawal. So we do have some key GOP senators who would most likely vote to convict. I would love, by the way, to see an impeachment trial where Biden's defense is basically shut out. I don't know if we can do it, but I would love to see the Republicans so shut down the defense in a manner comparable to the way the J6 committee instituted those kangaroo court rules. That would be karma on gold. But if we're seeing major corruption among the Biden family and that Hunter Biden laptop, that alone may be enough to do it, but when that's mixed in with the Afghanistan troop withdrawal debacle and the deliberate dereliction of duty at the southern border, I think it's very plausible to see every single Republican line up and vote to convict. How many Democrats would join in? Probably none. But if done rightly, I think the trial could completely finish any semblance of support that Biden has among particularly independent voters. And that would make 2024 an absolute shoo-in. Butter the popcorn, gang. This is going to get good. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before you go, you'll definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on Baghdad falling in another horrific humiliation for Biden. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.